Dividend declarations by announcement dates. This query trigger enables the user to find companies which have declared dividends in a specified date range. This query trigger is available under Stock Prices and Capital Changes section. Dividends are the profits of a company which is not retained in the business and is distributed amongst the shareholders in proportion to the amount paid up on the shares held by them. Data on dividend declaration is sourced from the stock exchanges. Let us understand the functioning of this query trigger with the help of an example. Suppose we want to find companies with dividend rate of 10% or more on BSE in the last 20 calendar days. To execute this query, you need to follow 6 steps. The first step is to select the appropriate radio button from the top of the user interface. That Announce Dividends on BSE is selected by default, and let us retain the same. The default exchange selected in the menu bar is BSE. Let us retain the same. The second step is to select the indicator which is to be queried on and enter the range in the Range From and Range To boxes. Let us select the indicator Dividend Rate and enter 10 in the Range From box and leave the Range To box blank. The third step is to enter the appropriate date on which the search should be conducted. D15 is the default setting. Let us change it to D20. It implies the last 20 calendar days. The date formats used in the query on dates and output dates are explained in the help on dates, which can be accessed by clicking on the question mark icon available just above the query on dates box. The fourth step is to choose the appropriate domain. There are 2 domains available, All Companies and Companies in Current OSE. The domain All Companies will conduct a search over all the companies available in the Prowess database. The domain Companies in Current OSE will conduct a filtering on the companies available in the current output sheet. The domain All Companies is selected by default, and let us retain the same. The fifth step is to select the appropriate output destination from the Select Output Destination box. There are 4 formats possible. The first is the OSE format, which lists only the names of the companies. The second output destination is also OSE, which lists companies in rows and indicators in columns. The third output destination is WS, which is the worksheet, which displays indicators in columns whereas companies and time in rows. The fourth output destination is the TXT output, which displays the data in a text file. Let us select OSE with companies in rows and indicators in column as our output destination. The sixth step is to select the appropriate execute option to execute the selections made in this query trigger. For the selected domain All Companies, the 3 execute options available are Add to Current OSE, Send to New OSE, and Replace Current OSE. Add to Current OSE adds the qualifying companies and its data in the current output sheet. Send to New OSE creates a new output sheet of qualifying companies and its data. Replace Current OSE replaces the contents in the current output sheet with the qualifying companies and its data. Let us select Send to New OSE. After the query has been successfully executed, the New Outputs button will start blinking. Click on the New Outputs button. You will see that OSE has been generated and is selected by default in the Output Downloader box. You can click on the Continue button to download this output. The output sheet will display companies which have announced dividends of 10% or more in the last 20 days.